Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to CI Chit Chat. If you are like us, things are full speed ahead on planting, and it's really exciting time of year. So hopefully everyone is being safe as they get out in the fields, and hopefully things get off to a really great start for you and roll right along. Our planting has been going very quickly. We started on Friday, and we are like over halfway done already. We're about halfway done. So it's going real fast, but smooth sailing, and we'll get out to the farm here soon. So for anyone who's new, welcome to the CI Chit Chat. We're talking about carbon intensity, talking about the 45Z tax credit and low carbon biofuel, which can be produced with low carbon feedstocks like corn and soybeans. Variety of some quick updates for you guys here today, and hopefully make this a little bit quicker chit chat because, like I said, I need to uh, get out on the farm, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are hard at it here today as well. So, a couple quick updates. Last week, the public comment period ended for the IRS, Department of Treasury, in regards to 45Z. So, as we've talked about, and as you'll remember, the Biden administration released a intent to propose a rule and some draft guidance on January 10th. So they released, that bit of um, information on January 10th, and they opened up a 90-day public comment period. So that public comment period ended on April 10th. Last I looked, there was 125 or so comments. I don't think I have it pulled up on my computer here anymore, but 100 and some comments. For those that I read through, there was a lot of folks that are following along with our message, a lot of you all that posted. So thank you for doing that and making sure that your voice is heard in DC. Our talking points were, get the 45Z actual rules out as quick as we can. We cannot continue to live in all this uncertainty. Utilize the GREET model to calculate the feedstock carbon intensity. Don't use the USDA overly simplified model. We said utilize a book and claim approach to connect farmer data to biofuel producers. Don't require mass balance, which would require that the grain be delivered to the biofuel producer and just cause a lot of unnecessary headache, additional cost, and additional emissions too. So we were saying use a book and claim so the crop can go wherever the crop wants to go, wherever is best for the farmer, and wherever they sell their commodities to, and then have the data be decoupled and sell the data separate. So that's book and claim. That's what we were advocating for. And then we were advocating a little bit for some adjustments within the audit protocols and verification stuff. We didn't get into a lot of details with the IRS. We were just talking about utilizing ISO 14065 and keeping things really simple. So hopefully that message is well received from the comments I was looking through. Seemed like there was a lot of interest in book and claim, a lot of push for book and claim, and plenty of push for utilizing the GREET model. Or if you're going to use the USDA model, it needs some work. And my concern is if we're going to hit point number one, which is speed and get things done, get some clarity created sooner rather than later, we can't go and fix up a brand new carbon calculator model, that USDA model. Rather, just utilize a model that's already done and been out there for a long time. So that's what we're pushing for. We will see what happens. So public comment period closed on April 10th. Now, some actual work in progress can start being made in DC. I know that there's a lot of folks that are getting into appointed positions that are, these at USDA, at Treasury, they are getting their folks put into place. I was reading through just yesterday, the USDA announced a whole bunch of different positions that have been filled here recently. And what was awesome is one of my fraternity buddies, actually, one of my groomsmen for my wedding, he got appointed to a pretty great position. And then there's a local gal here as well. And my buddy had served in the previous administration as well at a lower level position. Now this year or this cycle, he's at a higher position. And then we did have one of our local My buddy is chief of staff for food safety, is what he got appointed to. But so a chief of staff position, and then we've got a local gal who has been very involved in DC. She got appointed to a position, was announced yesterday as well. So very cool that them amongst others that are getting put into place. So USDA is getting their people put into place and enabling folks to get to work. I'm sure Treasury is doing the same type of thing. Point being is the USDA public comment period for 45Z closed like a month ago. IRS comment period closed last week. People are getting appointed and put into place and onboarded and getting to work. So hopefully some real progress can be made and pen put to paper, and hopefully we see some movement on that sooner rather than later. I'm not optimistic that it'll be anytime in the coming couple weeks. I hope that it's within the coming couple months, like hopefully sometime this summer. We're getting some indication that 45Z is making progress. I believe what would need to happen next is that they will push out an actual interim rule or an actual preliminary ruling on 45Z. And because the IRS and Department of Treasury, technically, they have not done that yet. So that's the next step is this interim or a preliminary rule. I don't know if they'll take another public comment period on that. Um, I assume they'll need to, but I don't know for certain. But anyway, this next whatever this next rule is, I would assume it's going to be quite complete. Because now it's Trump administration folks that are saying, here's what we want to do. Maybe we'll take some public comment, but we're probably not going to make major material changes. I just have to assume. So, for example, at this stage of the game, if they do put out the rules and say, we're going to use the USDA calculator and we're going to use mass balance, even if there is another public comment period, I don't know that they would change some of those bigger ticket items. So it's probably going to be whatever comes out in this next announcements, next rules. It's probably going to be pretty well how the program rolls out, at least for this first couple of years or first wave of the program. But I'm speculating too much. Point being is just there was rules that were, put out there, some paperwork put out there by the previous administration. Now the public comment period is done. People are getting on board in DC, and hopefully we get some updates from them soon. And of course, we'll let everyone know. The other major thing that happened in DC last week was there was a bill that's been introduced. I don't know exactly what the stage of it is. I should look a little deeper, but there was a bill introduced that would extend the 45Z credit till 2034. I think it had been kind of talked about it in committee and stuff before, but it's resurfaced here now. It would extend 45Z till 2034, and it would require domestic feedstock be utilized when applying for the credit. So it gets rid of the foreign use cooking oil decision, puts that completely to bed. I believe it completely gets or keeps out any other foreign feedstock as well. But the key piece of that being is it's not just the executive branch that now can start getting to work and make some progress, but the Congress and the legislative branch, they are also saying we need 45Z to be extended. We like this program. Just it's encouraging that they're at least talking about it and they understand that it's a big deal. So that's good because, of course, there's going to be a lot of fight that needs to be had. As as of course they're pushing on tax programs and tax bill and stuff here right now. And we need to make sure that some of these programs that are great for many stakeholders make sure that they're protected. And looks like Congress gets it, and they understand, and they're working to protect it. So we will see what happens. But Congress at least talking about U.S. feedstock and extending 45Z. Now our piece is it, we don't know that we should extend it quite yet until we actually know what's in the program. Like that's number one is get the program launched first before we can extend it. But we'll see. I did have a meeting last week with some staffers for one of our Iowa elected officials, and they were talking about how they weren't sure that 45Z would actually get extended until 2034. They thought that a 10-year, type of program that's probably a little too aggressive right now. But we'll see how they kind of settle up at the end of the day. Like I said, it's a 3-year program right now. That's what the law states anyway. So now they're looking at, extending that, but even a 3-year program, let's get the program off the ground, and then we can have the conversation about potential for extension or modifying the program. So anyway, so that's kind of the updates from the DC side of things. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of movement in the coming weeks, but like I said, hopefully in the coming months, there's more progress being made. And we really just need enough certainty that it's going to happen so that biofuel producers and farmers can really start collaborating together at a heightened level. And obviously, we're in position to enable that. We've got a lot of data and we've passed through the verification, the audits already. So we know what we're doing and we're ready to rock and roll. That being said, number one thing, that farmers that you should be doing or folks that are working with farmers is document everything that you are doing on the farm. So especially as you're out there planting or fertilizing or if you are doing any spring tillage, document everything. And what I mean by that is make sure that if you've got a monitor, if you've got machine data, make sure you take the extra 18 seconds and set it up the right way, maybe 60 seconds. Make sure you set it up the right way. Name the fields appropriately, document the practice that you're doing appropriately. Just take some decent notes so that we know what the heck is going on. Because that machine data is really the best data layer that we've got to be able to undergo an audit and prove what you did. So document well what you did, make sure that dates and times and all that good stuff is clicking correctly. Make sure that things get done correctly and document utilizing that machine data. Maybe even taking notes on your own as well, whether you're just writing in a notebook for now or go into Topsoil and you can document all your farming practices in Topsoil. If you unlock Topsoil Connect or CI certification, you can utilize our platform to document all of your practices. I would also suggest take pictures just with your phone. Just take a picture of whatever you're doing, like just one picture per field when you're out there. That way you've got a picture, and I would use it kind of either like take a picture back behind you of the implement and make sure that you can kind of see the ground cover, especially if you have cover crop or if you're no-till or strip-till, because you really want to be able to show kind of the height of the cover crop or be able to show the amount of cover that you've got with your cover crop or the amount of ground cover that you have with the residue. Any of those photos, that's going to help a lot. And if you're using a smartphone, that photo is geotagged and time stamped, and that can be utilized really as a additional layer of proof as to what you're doing. The other piece being receipts. So your seed, your fertilizer, fuel receipts, just keep all of that stuff. I don't know, we don't know what model is going to be used. We don't know all the different practices that are going to be included in the final program. So just document everything. If you have questions on that, contact your Continuum Ag representative. They'd be happy to help and get you more info, but just keep keep all your records, get them documented, whether you're utilizing our software to help you do it or doing it your own way. Just document everything. That's going to help you in no matter what the programs end up being, 45Z or otherwise. And that does bring me to, on my side, I'm looking at all kinds of different programs that are out there. Like, sure, of course, we're pushing on 45Z. I think it'll change the world if it can get pushed out there and the details are done well. But there's a lot of other initiatives and other programs out there that we're exploring. And at the end of the day, Continuum Ag's mission is to help 1 million family farms improve their profitability via improving their soil health. So whatever is going to be the best opportunity to drive financial opportunity for the farm, that and thus enable further adoption of soil health practices, that's what we want to bring to the table. So that's what we're doing. 45Z is the biggest opportunity still. I still really want it to happen. But having a lot of other conversations too and trying to figure out what are other opportunities for your data for, even from the 2024 crop or looking at 2025. So we will see what happens. Um, I think that's the main updates and stuff from my side. I have had questions and stuff coming in about managing cover crops and getting that killed and stuff. Keep in mind we do still offer soil health consulting, regenerative ag consulting. If you are new to this stuff or if you want some additional hand holding, happy to have that conversation and make sure that you get the agronomic support that you need. That's really the background of Continuum Ag with soil health analysis and regenerative ag consulting. We are soil sampling right now. Technically, the window to get signed up passed, but if you ask really nice, you may be able to convince my soil samplers to come to your farm, or they'll just let you know like, hey, sorry, you missed the window. But uh, our soil samplers are out all across the countryside right now. So if you are interested in the Haney soil health test or evaluating your soil fertility or soil health. We got four-wheelers out all over the place right now. So, but anyway, I like I said, I wanted to keep today short. Unless there's any questions, happy to take those. Otherwise, we will see how things continue to progress here throughout the spring, see what additional insights come out of Washington, D.C., and we'll see if we need to do these chit chats every single week or we'll just reconvene everybody when there's some key things that we need to talk about. I want to get that out to you all, but we'll keep the calendar blocked for every single Tuesday at 7:45, like what we've been doing for now over a year, almost. I don't know if it's been 15, 16, 17 months, something like that. But so we're going to keep having this conversation and we'll let you guys know and keep everybody posted. So again, be safe as you're out there in the fields. But we'll let everyone get back to work here today, and so I can here as well. So last of the piece, Topsoil Summit. We've got huge announcements. Diana, thank you for getting that in the chat. Topsoil Summit, June 3rd. We're in early bird pricing right now, so it's half off, $25 right now. When you use the discount code. We've got some awesome announcements coming here really soon. I'm so excited to start announcing some of our speakers. It's gonna be an awesome event. We do still have sponsorship space available too, if anyone's interested in that. But all right, with that, we'll plan on seeing you all next Tuesday. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, everyone.